Hey guys, good morning. If you've been keeping up with me, you will know that I am now pursuing this thing that I don't know what to call yet, but the entire idea is to change the world. I've always had the idea of changing the world. I never knew how I would go along with it, but I don't want to hold back anymore. I don't want to prepare for what can be, prepare for an idea that I have. I'm just going to go for it and see where it takes me. But to start off with that, let's just break down what that is. To change the world. What does that even mean? And I'll be honest with you, I have no idea. I'm still unsure. But what I do know is that the world is, we all know this, the world's a mess. The world is not that awesome of a place right now. It can have awesome moments, it can have awesome times, but it's not, I cannot go outside by myself and enjoy myself like how would I want to enjoy myself without the distractions of the world or distractions of people around you. This is kind of, I guess you could call parasites, or I guess you could call demons, whatever terminology you want to use. This is not what it means to live. What it means to live is to be free from fear, be free from distractions, to love and enjoy every moment that you have with the people that you love or people that you care for, or even by yourself. And I don't see that today. I haven't seen that in a long time. And I've always, God bless, I've always had the ability to have that within myself and have the courage to be alone and to discover things on my own. But I don't see the people around me do the same thing. And that saddens me because I wish for them to have the same thing. So I'll start off with this. Well, going back to the part with the changing part, it's going to be a little messy, by the way. So if I kind of get off track, then forgive me. I'm brand new to this kind of talking in front of the camera thing, so we'll see how this goes. But anyways, so going back to the question of what does it mean to change the world, I'm unsure yet. I have no idea. But I do see a world where people I see a future where I see a future where community is not like how it seemed like today. I see a world where we all understand what we're meant to do here from the get-go, that we don't have to try to find that path, because even though people say find your purpose, it'll take you years, it'll take you a long time. I don't think it does. I really don't think it should take a long time to find your purpose or find what you care for or find what it means to be a valuable person in this world. It should not take that long of a time. And that long meaning by the point you are 14 years old, if not younger, you should already know what to do with your life. But people don't know that. And when I say that, a lot of you might disagree with my statement. And I can see why, because you're still young. You have so much to figure out. But I cannot wrap around my head the idea of spending 14 years in this world, mind you, still young, still protected by your parents or protected by whatever cautions is around you. But by that point, you should already have built the character within you that's going to be either boosting you up for the rest of your life or dragging you down, is for you to fight against those traits or habits, or what people say, generational curses. If you want to use that terminology, that's fine. But I cannot wrap around my head not being able to point that stuff out immediately. Now, I've been blessed to grow up alone, very lonely, to the point where all I had was myself, and all I had was my own thoughts and my own inhibitions and my own ability to think for myself. Now, that's a blessing. That's also kind of a hindrance, because it did keep me from building relationships with people or being having many friends or having family members that are around me often, because I'm in my own head or for whatever reason. There's a lot of ants here too. If you guys know any better way to hike or go to forest without animals bothering you, then let me know. I would love to do this, but man, there's a lot of bugs. Anyways, okay, back to the topic. So that the idea of having such a hard time finding what it means to live, not survive. survival is the bare minimum for all of us. I genuinely believe that we should all come with a survival kit already. Now, of course, depending on the area you live in, the country you live in, there's going to be different standards of survival. Let's say in America, surviving just means home, food, water. That's all it is. You go to a different country, a third world country, and survival is just seeing tomorrow. So it's strange to find that that middle area where we all can consider survival, while it not being so contrast from, let's say, first world country to third world country. So it's hard to really pinpoint that, and I think I do need more time to think about what that really means. But regardless, it's strange because I cannot really, I probably shouldn't think about this, I should probably think about the topic of what I'm talking about right now, but I'm trying to figure out in which way can we find a middle ground of what it means to survive from a very, very low standard to a very high standard. So that's a gray area that I will work on and I will think of and see if I can find something with that. Regardless, let's just stick with the first world country for right now, because I live in a first world country, glory to God. Let's stick with that for right now. The people around me are lost, especially people my age, even younger, especially when they're younger as well. It's kind of sad, but, or actually, I should probably say older as well, because if you're older and you're still trying to, not necessarily figure things out, but figure your reason out, that's not sad. It's just, it's heartbreaking a little bit. It's understandable. I have empathy for that. I have sympathy for that. But it's understandable in the sense of the world is already in a really weird spot, in a weird mess that cannot be labeled sad. It can be sad in many ways, and I can see it as being sad, and also a blessing in many ways. But it's strange because we have all these blessings and yet no direction. That goes to the idea of having a lot of knowledge without understanding. And I think people our age, we know a lot, we are very intelligent, but we don't know what to do with the intelligence. We don't have any wisdom. So let me steer off into this. I just spluttered a lot there, and if you're still following along, then glory to God, you know, that's amazing. I want to stick with this idea. I'm still working on the idea, so if you have any pushback or any ways to make it better, by all means, do what you must, or tell me. That's what I'm going to say. I want to start with the philosophy of alchemy. As you know, my name is Obi, and my entire identity, I can summarize it as alchemy, or personalization is a better word for, or better definition for what I'm looking for, but as of right now, let's call it alchemy. It means to transform something into gold. That's the definition that I found. If you guys know a better definition or a different definition, let me know that too, because I'm still learning as well, but that's the definition that I found. To turn something into gold, or the process of turning something into gold. And a lot of us, we do not transform into gold. We transform into something. It could be, some of us could be gold, or some of us could be something that we don't understand until we get to that point. But what I want to offer is a direction to get to that point of becoming gold, of becoming quality, of becoming the best person you could be, that as well, but the highest form of self you can be. Now, what do I mean by that? I've written it down here to make it more simple. There you go. So what I'll be titling this video is Alchemy Philosophy Changed the World. I'm still solidifying what this is, but pretty much the rundown is we're going to be focusing on 4 things. And those 4 things are going to be under one umbrella. And that umbrella is going to be pretty much the entire emphasis of every single category we talk about. But you'll understand why. It's going to be kind of weird when I explain it, but stick with me with this. So the first one is sleep. We're going to prioritize sleep. That's the number one thing. I'm not a scientist, I'm not a doctor, I cannot give you any medical advice, I cannot give you any professional advice, so listen as you will. But sleep is a very, very huge thing for your entire day. You can have a perfect diet, a workout routine, you can have amazing friends. If sleep is not at its best, and I struggle with that too, but if sleep is not at its best, every other thing will falter. So we need to prioritize sleep. Make sure that your day is surrounded on how good you can sleep or how good you will sleep for the following night. That's the first thing. If it is night, if it's morning, that's something else you can talk about. That's the first thing, is sleep. The second thing is going to be diet. Diet is, I cannot really point out the percentages right now, but what I can say is, if I were to list it, it'll be sleep number one, second one has to be diet, because diet is, as you know, is the fuel for your entire day. And what you put into your body is very, very important, not just for today, but for next week and the week after. By that, I mean, what you eat today is going to impact you within a week or a week after. I have nothing to prove that. I have no scientific evidence. I have no medical evidence for that. But what I can say is that within myself, at least, let's say I eat McDonald's one day, the next week I'm still going to feel that McDonald's some way or another, whether it's physically, mentally, emotionally, whatever way, I'm going to feel that negative food. So prioritize how you diet and make it as simple as possible. We can get into that another day. I just want to make sure that's out there. The third one is fitness. I take that back. I will say fitness, but I'm going to prioritize something else. The third one is going to be community, because community, it's a strange one, because I grew up very alone, but I always saw the value in having people around you, having a community around you. And I always saw that as being far, far more important than a workout I could have in the morning or a night or anything like that. Now, of course, fitness is very important. Let me stick with the community part before I go into fitness. The community part is two sections: isolation and community. Or what word did I use? I used connection. Connect, same thing. Isolation and the ability to connect. These two things have their uses for very important aspects of your life. Isolation is for understanding, my experience at least. Isolation's understanding. Isolation's to understand and to gather your thoughts and to really get to know who and what you are. But there are times where you cannot do that because you don't have enough capabilities in your mental state or emotional state to really understand who and what you are at that moment. So that's where connection comes into play, because you need connection in order to gain those thoughts and gather. And I use rejuvenate or regroup. Rejuvenate, regroup, create. It solidifies who you are in a different way than isolation. Isolation understands who you are, and connection solidifies who you are. Boom, made that simple. And the last one, the fourth one, is fitness. Straightforward, simple. You want to be healthy. That's all it is. I'm just gonna make that simple. Now, when I first said the umbrella part, the part that surrounds each and every category, is sexual health. What do I mean by that? That may have thrown you off. Let me explain. Sexual health is a very interesting thing, because we as you know, we're sexual creatures. We all lust. We all wish for women or men if you're into that. But this is one guy. He says, "Don't let me ick your yum." Anyways, the sexual health part is a very important aspect, because from my experience, when you prioritize your sexual health with every category, let's say the stuff I eat is to prioritize my sexual health. Whoa, weird. Okay. The way I work out, prioritize sexual health. What does that even mean? Community and what was the other one? Sleep, fitness, community, and diet. There we go. So these four things, I prioritize the sexual health, because what's strange about sexual health is that it transmits to every single other version of health. So sleep, I get It could be 8 hours of sleep they could get. It changes on the night. It just depends on the quality of sleep you get. I'll talk about that at a different time. But just to summarize it all, just to make this video a summarization so I can talk more about each individual one in his own video. When you prioritize sexual health as being the number one thing to really maintain, every single category becomes smooth, natural. It's like that in your system. It works easy and well. Not because you're horny. You may be horny, and if you are, another video. But you can feel those sexual thoughts, or you can feel those sexual emotions. And if that comes around, that's natural, it's part of it. But when you overcome that sexual part of yourself, and you apply those to your sleep, diet, fitness, and community, just a level of energy that does not come from caffeine or any stimulant that you take from an outside source. It all comes from within. Something like that. That's the entire philosophy, is to maintain your sexual health, to prioritize every version or every aspect of your life. I'll get into that definition a little more in future videos. I just want to make that clear. That's pretty much it for the philosophy, and that's pretty much it for the video. The world will change. I will create a change. I don't know how, but I know that I will make it. One way or another, I will make it. I'll carve out a path. And if I fail to achieve that path, then I hope to guide one of you to a better one. That's pretty much it.